Hi there, I'm Denise. I'm one of the residents here in Allen Township, and I was asked to give a synopsis as what happened with the zoning stuff. We heard a lot about it last spring and summer, and then it went dark, and we thought it was going to be on the November ballot, but nope. What has happened since then, you've started to hear more information about it. So here is the down and dirty as to what happened in that process. The zoning board was able to get the book ready and possibly ready for the November ballot. The trustees had the final say, and they had a meeting. And before that meeting, we know that a lot of litigation has been happening, and the litigation from One Energy brought forth a deal. And I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of an explanation. Let's say they were mad about 10 things that they were suing for. And they said, you know what? We're going to take 5 of these things off the table if you keep it off the November ballot. Now, the trustees have their own legal counsel that kind of advised them and said, you know, this is what you have to work with. Now, we were working on a very tight timeline, and the trustees only had until that meeting to approve it, and then it would have to go to the Board of Elections to get onto the November ballot. So there wasn't a whole lot of time. I'm not sure what was discussed behind those doors, but the trustees with the legal counsel felt as though it was favorable enough to keep it off the ballot in November based upon the 5 things that were taken off the table. It has been said that one of the things that was taken off the table was that if you lost any of the things, one of those 10 items, you were going to have to pay all of the legal fees that One Energy has accrued, and it was upwards of 6 figures. So it's not great for our township to have to pay that kind of money. So I'm not sure exactly what the things that were won in it, but the deal went through as the trustees felt it, though it was in the best interest of Allen Township. So it did not make the November ballot. They kept it off. Now, with that being said, in August, the trustees were finally able to go to court and defend themselves against One Energy, and they were able to have a couple of the court dates. They were rescheduled a little bit for November. I'm not exactly sure what happened in that whole process, but there were some in August, and then there were some in November. Now, those November dates, the judge wrapped it up. I did sit in the courtroom one of the days, and there was not a ruling. So he said, I hope to rule on this by the time I leave the bench. Now, he left the bench in the end of December, and he ruled on it on his very last day, the very last hour, pretty much, from what I understand. He ruled in favor of the trustees. The trustees won, and I believe one of the things in his ruling said, I am not going to punish common sense. And that is what was said. The judge ruled the trustees are now able to put forth the zoning towards the ballot. So that has gone through. It was presented to the Hancock County Board of Elections in February, and mid-February is when we found out, hey, it's actually going to go on the May ballot. So there's a ton of steps that have to happen, and we are now able to go forth and vote. So I hope you guys read the most up-to-date zoning book that is up there on the Township Trustee site, along with the map. Look at it and see if it's favorable for Allen Township to consider this. So, because it's been a long road to get here. So anyhow, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.